Stop 32 on the Castrol GTX Cup Series brings us to Martinsville Speedway in Martinsville, Virginia for the running of the Tums Fast Relief 500 with now 5 races left to go before the season ends. On the pole, going for the Martinsville sweep, Ann Batson. Alongside of her is her husband, Keith. It should be interesting to see who gets those 5 bonus points for leading this lap. Row 2, Jasmine Acosta in 6 and Dylan Poteet. Row 3, Josh Osborne and our championship leader, Ashley Sears. Row 4 has Zed Weinstein and Adam Chambers. And row 5 has Aaron Reed and Mike Becker. Becker's been good on the short tracks this season so far. At pole speed, a record-shattering 101 miles an hour. Let's see what happens here. Ann Batson's going to lay him down. She's going for the Martinsville sweep in the green waves, and we're underway. 50 laps around this racetrack, and what a start Ann Batson got. Usually at Martinsville, if you are a pole sitter, you are a guaranteed winner, but we'll see if that holds true again today. Jasmine Acosta certainly hopes not. She rides the number 2 position right now. That was a speed shot. Now wait, still see Ann Batson goes right by for the number. There she is. That's what a lap around Martinsville is like. Not really, actually, but we're about to go on board with Ann Batson and give you what Martinsville's like. Let's go on board with Ann. Next, you look at the tachometer of Ann Batson's car. Look at that, almost 10,000 RPMs. It's amazing why those engines stay together. It's basically why those short track engines stay together, especially here in Martinsville. No, it's engines the toughest thing on the tracks on this track at Martinsville, but also the brakes because of the long straightaways and the very tight hairpin turns. But right now, Ann Batson has just dominated this Martinsville Speedway so far in season 3 of this series. You remember she led wire to wire from the pole here back in the Goodies Fast Pay Relief 500. Now here in the Tums Fast Relief 500, she is doing the same thing as she did in the spring. Right now, let's give you how the running right now. Jasmine Acosta's in 2nd position behind Ann Batson, her leader. 3rd is Josh Osborne. 4th, Keith Batson. 5th, Ashley Sears. 6th is Dylan Poteet. 7th, Aaron Reed. 8th is Derek Walker. 9th, Matthew Rodriguez, and 10th is Zed Weinstein. Alexander Dawson running in 11th position. Skyland Carlson, Michael Dawson, Josh Sears in the 13th spot. 14th, I should say. Adam Chambers in 15th. Mike Becker's dropped to 16th position. That's surprising because he's been good on the road course, on the short tracks this season. Winner at Bristol and Richmond. Eric Webler running in the 17th spot. Jake Sears, 18th, our Atlanta winner. Zach Carlson, Ryan Acosta, Jeremy Doobie, Justin Acosta, Jack Rameson, Fred Christopher, and Jack Richards. Jacob Rodriguez, Hunter Carlson, John Acosta in a 7, he runs 28th. Trey Campbell, 29th. Johnny Gardner, 30th. Dougie Shears bring up the rear along with Charles Jackson. But Ann Batson continues to lead him down after what this will be, 13 laps around this track, so 37 laps to go. And Jasmine has pulled a comfortable lead over Jasmine Acosta. I swear to you, she has got the same car probably as she ran here in the spring. She started from the pole and led every lap in this event. At that event in the spring, I should say. And counting those 50 laps in the spring, she's led now 65 straight laps. Out of the possible 100 so far. Which makes it the entire Martinsville season. So, you remember season 1 though, Dougie Shears swept Martinsville in season 1, you remember that. And so far we had a driver who's pulled off a sweep at a racetrack somewhere this season. That was Zed Weinstein when he did it at Michigan. That was in season 1, or season, that was in season actually when Zed Weinstein swept Michigan, so this will be only the second person to swept a certain racetrack if Ann can hold on to his final 33 laps in this race. Still a long way to go. Taking the back of the pack here. Ann Batson about to close in on maybe on Dougie Shears in the 75. She's a full straightaway behind him too, so lap traffic could be a determining factor if this keeps up. Let's take it. We'll show you the helicopter view here. There's where Dougie Shears is as he goes into turn 3, and Batson's not far behind Dougie Shears right there. Yeah, about a half a turn behind. That was our copter cam for the Castrol GTX Cup Series. Giving us some nice aerial shots. Even though the helicopter motor kind of over-drones the sound, I guess you might say. But nevertheless, this track's starting to run like a little bit like a conveyor belt. We got cars now all the way around, and boy, Ann Batson, she does not want lap traffic at all. Just look at Dougie Shears. She is about to pull up right behind Dougie Shears and about to get possibly nowhere. That possibly may end the play in Jasmine Acosta's favor, because Jasmine is closed up now on Ann Batson now as they come down the line. 23 down in the books, 27 left. And oh, Ann's up the track, and here comes Jasmine to the inside. We may have our first ever lead change on the Cup Series at Martinsville. Here she comes, and Jasmine Acosta's going to take the lead. That never happens at Martinsville on this game here in the series. That lap car of Dougie Shears killed Ann Batson right there. Now it's Jasmine Acosta to the #1 spot. And now, does she have any trouble with Dougie Shears? No, she does not. In fact, Dougie smacks the wall. But now Ann's pulled right back on the back of Jasmine's car. And saying, come on, Jasmine, I had the lead here. They come down to the third and first and second turns now, and getting caught side by side with the lap car of Charles Jackson in the #11 car. Keith Batson getting by him. Now Trey Campbell, the next one to go to get lapped. So is the 18 of Johnny Gardner. .22 laps to go for Jasmine Acosta, who started this race, I believe, in the Started third in this race. But Ann Batson's pulled right back on the back bumper of Jasmine's car. So they go down to the first and second turns now. Boy! Ann's car slipping just a bunch here. Boy, Jasmine Acosta has been excellent through this lap traffic here at Martinsville, no question. That car just handles well in traffic, no traffic, whichever. Jasmine can go by them all here at Martinsville. And Ann Batson's car is giving away a bunch. As you see, Keith Batson about to go by her. Husband and wife battle going on right now. Yeah, Ann's car is definitely handling ill right now. Keith Batson in the number 2 position now. We've never had position changes for the lead at Martinsville before in this Castrol GTX Cup Series. Usually, if you are the pole sitter, you usually are a guaranteed winner. Not the case here today. And we had a lead change in the Busch Nationwide Series in the spring race, but that's the only lead change we had at Martinsville here so far. But now we're down to 16 laps to go with Jasmine Acosta out in front. Keith Batson in second. Ann Batson trying to go to the inside now for the number 2 position. And Jasmine's having trouble trying to get by Jacob Rodriguez in the 2 car. $15 to go. 35 laps in the books. Now Jasmine Acosta pulling up behind Jack Richards in the 25. Margin right now 0.3 of a second between the 6 and the 3. Jasmine Acosta looking for that second win of the season. She won at Chicagoland Speedway, a 1.5 mile racetrack. Let's see if she can pull off on a half-mile track. Go down to the first and third and fourth turns now. Jasmine being stuck behind the 68 car, Fred Christopher. Now Keith Batson going back by his wife, Ann, for the number 2 spot. They're side by side. Ann's still up on the high side. She's having trouble with that car, apparently. Seems like no matter what track she goes to, she always gets stuck on the high side for some reason. Just does not want to stick low. This time by will be 10 laps to go this time by for Jasmine Acosta. She's still got a bunch of lap traffic. Jack Ramessen's next to the list, and she goes by Jack with ease. And now Keith Batson tries to do the same thing. But this lap traffic racing is just very intense here at Martinsville. They say catching them is one thing, but passing them is another. But Jasmine Acosta has proven it catching them. She's had some trouble with some lap traffic, but whenever she gets alongside, she passes them with ease, like she's about to do right here with Justin Acosta in the 9 car. Be 7 laps to go this time by. Keith Batson goes by, so does Ann. Boy, what a heartbreaker that was. That has to be for Ann Batson. Led for about almost half the race, then loses the lead in lap traffic. And Jasmine may lose the lead here because here comes Keith Batson for the lead, and he's got it. They scored Keith as the leader that time by 0.06 of a second. 6 laps to go for Keith Batson. Does he pull it off here today? Or does Jasmine go back around him? Keith Batson getting around Jeremy Doobie in the 22 car. Out of the second turn now, Keith Batson slides her in the third turn and third and four turns now, as he's got 4 laps to go here in the Tums Fast Relief 500. And Batson back in the second position, and now she's going to try to make a charge for Keith. Husband versus wife here in the final laps at Martinsville. Ryan Acosta in the 4 car. It kind of seems like if you're not the leader of the race, you kind of have more trouble with the lap traffic than the leader does. And that's what Keith's got the problem with. That's what Keith's got Keith the advantage so far right now. 2 laps to go, but Ann Batson's is about right there, as Zach Carlson's next on the list of people getting lapped. But Ann's right on the back of Keith. They come around with a white flag. There'll be 1 lap to go here at Martinsville. Who's it going to be in the Tums Fast Relief 500? Ann goes up the track, and Jasmine Acosta goes right by. That about clinches it for Keith Batson right there. Down in the third and fourth turns now, he gets alongside and by Zach Carlson. And Keith Batson's going to win here at Martinsville, the Tums Fast Relief 500. I thought for a second Ann Batson was going to maybe pull a sweep after all. I thought. But car had to go up high on her out of turn number 2 and in turn number 1, and that was about what won it. Average speed 98.512 miles an hour. Keith Batson the winner. Jasmine Acosta second. She almost won that one herself. Ann Batson third. Ashley Sears fourth. Josh Osborne fifth. Dylan Poteet. Matthew Rodriguez seventh. Aaron Reed eighth. Zed Weinstein finishes ninth. And Alexander Dawson in 10th position. On down to Adam Chambers in 15th spot. And there's the rest of the finishing order. Dougie Shears brings up the rear in the 32nd spot. But Keith Batson pulls it off today here at Martinsville Speedway. He has won the Tums Fast Relief 500. And that's still going to give Ashley Sears the lead by 102 points over Keith Batson. Ann Batson running third right now. Josh Osborne in fourth. Derek Walker, Zed Weinstein, Mike Becker, Adam Chambers, Dylan Poteet, and Jasmine Acosta was up in the top 10 in the points right now. Looks like the rest of the cars are going to have to depend on Ashley to have trouble, which has not been likely so far here this season. And on down to Charles Jackson still last in the points. Zach Carlson still hanging on the top 20 in that hot battle. So next race on tour will be at Atlanta Motor Speedway for the Napa Know How 500.